Generation X. In general terms, those born between 1965 and 1980. Latchkey kids. Independent. Existentialism. Modern philosophy focusing on personal experience, human ability, and responsibility in an otherwise meaningless universe. We're the cause. This is the effect. We're the Gen-X-istentialists. Welcome in, my friends, to the Gen-X-istentialist podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And we are joined this week by a very special guest making her return to the show. It is
Dr. Pamela Menges.
Welcome back, Pam. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. So typically what we do here is we spin Mega Wheel of Magnificent. We talk about things from a Gen X perspective, but Pam told us before we hit record, that she's got a topic that she wants to broach with us. So we will throw it to you for the initial offering today.
The philosophical foundations of bumper stickers.
Bumper stickers. Bumper stickers are my jam. Not necessarily just bumper stickers, but decals on cars. Because if you've seen my car, I've got stickers galore on it. From Star Wars to musical stuff to bands to sports teams I support. So the philosophical ramifications of showing your love and support for things on your car is right up my alley. But I tend to think that that's not exactly what you're getting at.
Well, yes, because bumper stickers are kind of a form of graffiti, rolling graffiti, if you will.
Sure.
But also it gives us an insight into the changing world, because now we have young women with their vehicles plastered with pussy power. And you gotta love that.
Which I am a fan of. I'll just say that.
Well, I'm a fan of pussy. Powered or powerless.
Thankfully, Bunny's mic is not. In case you missed that comment in the background.
And one of my favorites is I look down on because I drive a truck, obviously. I look down on a car that is a box made by Hyundai, and this black window had a nice little silhouette of Tinkerbell, and it said, "If you're going to ride my ass, you can pull my hair." And I was going to work, and I thought, damn, that's a great way to start the day.
That is wonderful. Bunny, your take on bumper stickers.
Bumper stickers. I'm not a huge fan of bumper stickers, to be perfectly honest. I don't mind reading them on other people's cars, but I don't like putting them on mine. I don't know. I even had that old beat up Maybelline.
And there was nothing on Maybelline.
There was nothing on Maybelline. No.
Freaked me out.
Yeah, she stood on her own. I don't coexist with anyone. I don't.
But you do have something
sticker
on your current car.
I do. It's just a simple name.
Yeah.
And the car's name is Creepshow.
Which harkens back to
my love of horror.
Yeah.
I guess. But I'll tell you, I saw a bumper sticker the other day. It was very strange. I didn't know how to respond to it. It said, "Please don't honk at me. My father is dead."
Wow.
And I didn't know how to accept that. I wanted to just lay on the horn. But
see, I saw one day before yesterday. Yeah. It was on this older SUV that had a pentacle with some wings around it, had a couple other things on it, and then it had a sticker down near the bumper that said, "If you honk at me, I will kill myself."
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one too.
Which was awesome, because one of the other stickers it said "Goth Girl."
Oh,
so,
okay.
like the mindset it's coming
Daddy
from, like
issues.
it was a joke.
Yeah.
They were joking
Okay.
about it, but it was hilarious to me. And I wanted to honk just to let them know that I got the joke, but I was afraid that if I honked, they would think, oh, I want them to kill themselves, which was not the case. I wanted to let them know that I enjoyed their humor. So I didn't do anything.
It's a conundrum.
It was horrifying for me as the viewer of the bumper sticker.
That's like putting glitter on a noose.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, sad
if you're,
clown and iron lung.
If you're
supposed to laugh at it. I don't know. It's kind of fucked up.
Well,
right?
yes.
So.
If you ever have to ask that question, should I be laughing at this?
Yeah.
The answer is always yes. Just let that be your mantra. Let that be your guide in life. If you're If you're at a funeral and somebody makes a joke, that's going to be your question. You go ahead and laugh.
Sure.
Every time.
I was driving down I-75. This was a few years ago, and there was one of these, the trucks, the big hauling trucks.
Big stupid trucks.
Yeah, the big Smoking the Bandit trucks or whatever, but it did not have the trailer on the back, so it was just the cab. Mm-hmm. And at the top of the cab in the back, it had in big, bold, black letters, trustworthy pervert. I have a photo of it, and I was like, that's pretty great. I'd put that on my car.
Yeah.
I'd have to get a bigger car. I had issues.
Okay, so back to Pam, since you're our guest today. Any other topics you would like to broach?
Well, you have to really agree that bumper stickers provide a great deal of insight into the human condition.
Oh, absolutely.
And I collect bumper stickers.
Do you really?
I do. I've got about 300. One of my favorites is "Buckle up. It makes it harder for the aliens to suck you out of your car."
Which is true.
It is true. And of course, Earth first, then we'll strip mine the other planets. The important things. Oh, won't you be my neighbor? I like that one.
Yeah.
Follow me into the woods.
See, that's all fantastic stuff. Bunny, yeah.
What's your take on the "all who wonder are not lost" bumper sticker that everybody seemed to have had back in the 80s? I hate that one for some reason.
Well, they were lost. They were lost. Yeah.
So it seems like an apt time to ask this question. When the aliens try to abduct you, if you are buckled in, can they still get you? Because it seems like the mistake most people make. They see the lights in the sky, their car has stopped because, EMP, whatever. They get out. Wouldn't the key be to always just stay buckled into your car? Or can the aliens circumvent your security measures?
Well, actually, people who've been regressed by Dr. Mack when he was at Harvard, before he was run over in London by accident.
It was an accident.
People actually black out. So,
So we're not sure.
We're not sure. But most people agree that when people see lights in the sky and their car stalls and there are things bouncing around in the sky, it's probably some kind of experiment with a non-lethal weapon system.
Yeah.
So it's highly unlikely it's E.T.
That's unfortunate.
It is. E.T. would be fun. We need a change.
We need more botanists. That wasn't. You haven't seen E.T., have you, Bunny? And he's shaking his head. See, it's a joke because E.T., the alien, he was a botanist.
He fixed plants.
Yeah. Why do I know that? Because I read the novelization of E.T. when I was a kid. Yeah. I am absolutely a nerd.
Okay. So is that what his finger was for? Was fixing plants? His little glowing finger?
Among other things.
That's all the girls said, but...
Yes, I don't know if that was specifically what the
That's
finger power
all you need is a
was,
begonia growing out of your G-spot. That's bad news. That's inconvenient.
I just know that E.T. was a botanist.
That is forever. That will be forever my Gen X shame.
It is. We need to sit. Really,
I have
all
it
of us
pulled
need
down.
to sit
I
down.
have the movie pulled down. It's on my hard drive. All I have to do is hit play, and I just can't bring myself to do it.
But here's the thing: it can't
held
be
out
just
so long.
It can't be just you. It's got to be a bunch of us with you. It has to, because I want to clock your face as certain things happen.
Yeah.
Because it's a Spielberg production. I mean, you know what you're going to get, even though you haven't seen it. I'm sure you've seen images.
I've seen so many clips. I feel like I've seen the majority of the movie.
But the setup for those, it's like if you haven't seen Star Wars, but you've seen Jabba the Hutt, your reaction is going to be different when you actually see the movie, right? Okay. And I think E.T.'s the same way. You've seen the images, but when it's actually happening...
But have you felt the experience? Have you felt the love of E.T.?
And I just want to see your face when certain things happen. I'm not even going to bring them up. Just certain parts of it, I want to clock how you react.
Yeah. That's my wife will do that. She'll make me watch certain things and then just sit and watch me instead of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I had mentioned earlier when I got here to the studio that we had ended up stumbling across the 1988 Macy's Day Parade on YouTube. and I loathe parades. I mean, with the white hot.
And see, Pam,
hate
you're
of the
laughing.
sun.
You remember the days of Willard Scott and you said it was Sandy Duncan
and Willard Scott, and she will spend more time watching me and my eyes rolling in the back of my head, and just I'm going into my safe space.
Pam, what's your take on parades and watching parades on TV mainly?
I always think of parades as some kind of, vestige of paramilitary activity. So I'm not a big fan. So yeah, but it's the old story. Everybody loves a parade. No, it's the children of the corn who like watching parades.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not everybody likes clowns either.
Speaking of clowns and paramilitary, the last image I saw before I just punched out, I hit the eject button this morning, I couldn't take it anymore, there was an old classic car with 2 mommy clowns and 2 daddy clowns and 1 baby clown. And Willard Scott proudly proclaimed, that's 5 of the 873 clowns that are here today. I'm like, good grief.
Wow.
Like, what would make...
What made anyone hire Willard Scott?
The fact that there were... Well, yeah. The fact that there were 873 available clowns in the vicinity to be in this parade. It's like 30 degrees outside, spitting rain.
Well, that's exactly when you want to be out dressed like a clown.
Oh, man. It's better than the poor girl he had dressed as Barbie. Boy, she wasn't wearing hardly anything.
That's always good.
Imagine
for the
dancing around in that 30-degree weather for like 40 blocks. And that's like 60 blocks that way. Yeah,
So, okay, we've gone off on some tangents. Because Pam is here, do you want to ask the questions, or should we randomize it and roll with Mega Wheel and Magnificent?
Let's randomize it.
All right, we will give Mega Wheel and Magnificent a spin, as we always do here on the Gen-X-istentialists podcast. And our first question is, would you rather have unlimited international first-class tickets, I assume on an airplane, or never have to pay for food at restaurants? Bunny, you're up first.
Would you like to take this? Or
Pam?
Well, I'll pass it over to our guest.
You're up first.
I would like unlimited international tickets on aircraft.
Why?
Because then you can go anywhere you want. Food isn't that expensive, and who cares about eating in restaurants? I mean, seriously, let's go somewhere.
Fair. Bunny?
I would agree. I would only take the food if it meant that I didn't have to leave a tip. Because the whole point of I'd like to go and just rack up, I'd like 78 pizzas, please, and just have them stack them up, that cartoon style, and then just waltz out without paying would be wonderful. But if I had to pay tip on everything, no.
Yeah.
I might as well just pay for the food.
Since I am an American, I'm going to agree with you guys and take the international first class tickets, even though I'm not apt to really want to travel a whole lot. Because of that, because in our country, we want to pay servers slave wages and have the patrons of our restaurant pay for their well-being and their livelihood in tips, instead of just paying people a fair wage. Screw that. Screw your restaurants. Yeah, I'll take the international first class tickets.
Think of how much money you could sell those tickets for. If you had unlimited ones, jeez.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Even if they were limited, like you can only go to you can use 2 tickets per week. You're still ahead of the game.
Okay. So right. I'll tell you what, would you like to be the first to answer today since you were here?
Okay.
All right.
That means we're going to give Mega Wheel another spin.
Okay, I'm passing the mic.
It's always fun to be on the hot seat, isn't it?
Oh, sure.
The look of abject fear in your face is just it's just a question. It's nothing bad. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have all corporations know all of your computer usage, or the government know all of your computer usage? So corporations versus government.
They all do already. I mean, we're kind of done there. I mean, look at Bezos. He's building one of the largest data centers in America just to collect our shit. I mean, how many dossiers do you think we have?
Oh, I'm sure Alexa knows things about me that I don't even know myself. Hello, Scott. Did you know you talk in your sleep? What? So So I guess answer to the question is just
Doesn't matter anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at it, are we really that far from truly a corporatocracy or a fascist society where corporations are the government and vice versa?
I think we hit that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I
mean, when most of the laws being written are written by lobbyists who are on the payrolls of companies, but there's no dividing line, really. It's kind of disturbing.
Well, I'm getting very depressed.
Sorry, Bunny. What international corporations or government?
I honestly agree with everything Pam said, including this thing happened in the 90s, if not earlier. I'm sure it happened.
Yeah.
If I had to choose one devil or the other, I'd rather have corporations know everything about me than government, because corporations aren't likely to just throw me in a gulag somewhere and let me rot the way a government would.
Fair point.
Especially with the kind of stuff I say out loud
yeah.
when no one's around. I am gulag material already, so.
I'm going to say corporations because I've worked for a few corporations and I've worked at a regulatory agency, and honestly, I just don't find corporations to be that fluid and able to manage themselves or their information. I actually find government to be better at handling information than corporations. So if anybody's going to have all my tracks, give it to a company, because chances are I can bribe somebody to make it disappear easier than I can
you
at
get
the
lost
government.
In the paperwork, in the corporation. So.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Cool.
So we will give Mega Wheel and Magnificent another spin here on the Gen-X-istentialists podcast. And we have got... Come on, Meg. Would you rather have all dogs try to attack you when they see you, or all birds try to attack you when they see you? So basically, animal attacks, dogs or birds.
I get along really well with dogs, and I don't have any animosity towards birds. I could probably handle dogs better, because birds can actually be really dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, birds can kill you. You could have a sparrow take you out.
Bunny?
Yeah, I'm going to go the opposite on that one. I'd rather have birds be unhappy with me, because I know dogs can take me out.
Yeah.
I know a dog can just clap its jaws around my neck and I'm a goner. I'd like to see a sparrow try that. But I can also eat a lot of more sparrows. I could eat dogs too, I guess. Why not? But I feel better just like going outside with a tennis racket and just swinging wildly.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with the birds too, because the dogs are at ground level, and if they get you down, you're probably staying down. The birds are going to be dive bombing, and they're not great at ground level. And I'm pretty whimsical and good with an umbrella. So I think I would take that as a decent defense mechanism.
Well, you can always just go out at night more than too. The amount of birds that are out at night are much slimmer than daytime. So
this is true. And
well, yeah, true. And owls. But, how often do you run into an owl?
Hopefully not very often. And you could get bats to help you out, because they're technically not birds.
I hear they don't like birds.
Yeah, you could organize the bats to take
problem
out the
with birds. That union.
It's a very odd question.
Yes, it is.
So we will give Mega Wheel the Magnificent another spin. While we're doing that, Pam, you do another show here on the Gen Expanse podcast network. You want to talk about that a little bit real quick?
Yeah, we do. Sometimes It Takes a Rocket Scientist, trademarked. We work hopefully to educate and expand knowledge and opportunities in science and technology, and maybe make some people's lives a little better.
Absolutely. And we're going to be recording a new series of shows here very shortly in the next couple weeks.
Yep.
Cool.
Very exciting.
Our next question. If you could get surgery, not that you would, if you could get surgery to look like any celebrity, who would it be?
Wow. Sonia Braga 40 years ago.
Who?
Sonia Braga 40 years ago.
I
She was a South American, she's an actress, and she reminds me of my mom. So, very attractive woman, yeah.
I am not familiar with her.
Mm-hmm.
Where would
Cool.
we find this woman?
Yeah, where would we find...
On internet and Wikipedia.
How do you spell the last name?
Braga, Braga or GGA, yeah.
Okay.
She was in the Milagro Beanfield Wars, the Robert Redford's independent movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bunny?
Definitely. I would like to change my appearance to Vincent Price back when he was a young, strapping, like 20 or 30-year-old.
Okay.
Then I could do the Thriller after that, and it'd be exciting.
It makes perfect sense.
Well, it goes with my facial. I got a long face. Some people have said, some people have noticed that I have a very long face. And then, trying to change my face into like a Matthew Perry or something is probably not going to happen. I might be able to pull off a Tom Baker from Doctor Who,
yeah.
but I don't think I can pull off any of these cherubic-faced hot young men that all the ladies want. But I could go for a dapper Vincent Price.
Cool. I don't know. If I'm going to get surgery to look like a celebrity, I want to like go all out. So I'm going to go like Keanu Reeves.
All right.
Just because he's, as much as everybody knows his face and knows him and what he looks like, you still see pictures of him because he just goes out, gets on his motorcycle and rides someplace and like has lunch at a McDonald's and stuff. And people just ignore him, which I think is fascinating, that when you ignore the paparazzi stuff and you just like live your life, it kind of works, or at least he's gotten the respect of enough people that he can do that. But I think he's cool.
So you're looking to avoid the paparazzi.
Well, yeah, and just be able to be that, look like a celebrity, but also live a normal lifestyle. Because let's face it, if you look like a celebrity, you're probably going to get people like hounding you a little bit.
Of course. That's why you want to change your face to look like that.
Well, and that's the thing. I wouldn't do that. I don't want people to hound me.
Why else would I mess with perfection?
Exactly. Exactly, by God. All right, where are we at here? Let's do one more, shall we?
All right.
We'll give Mega Wheel and Magnificent another spin here on the Gen-X-istentialists podcast. And of course, wherever you are listening to this or watching it, if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave us a comment, tell us what you like, didn't like. Well, actually, if you don't like something, don't tell us, but leave us a note if you like. Okay. Your superpower is that you can give phobias to people. What fun and interesting things would you make people afraid of?
Wow. The first thing that comes to mind is make everybody agoraphobic so you can just sell them more services and make them stay at home. My capitalistic answer.
Yeah. Okay. Agoraphobia. Mm-hmm. Bunny?
That's a great one. And I totally am all behind the idea of monetizing a phobia. I think that's a great thing. If I really didn't like a person, I just wanted to watch them suffer, I'd make them scared to swallow. And then I'd just watch them sit there and panic, not knowing what to do.
I'm leaving this alone.
Nope. Say what you feel. Say what you think.
Well, there are people afraid to swallow already, so...
But
that's what bath towels are for. Just spit it out. Whack.
And on that note, my answer was very simply going to be I would make people afraid of meetings, because where I work right now, it's just meetings after meetings after meetings. I would love for everybody to be fearful of meetings and just not show up. That would just be incredible. Like, did you go to the meeting? Yeah, I was the only one there. It was great. We got so much done.
You got an organization that does nothing but meetings. It means people are already afraid because they have to everybody reinforce all their crap.
It's not that. There's so many meetings, and I think the only real frustrating thing about it is that a lot of them are about the same stuff that's already been discussed and already been handled, and it's in process. But then you have meetings to reinforce that the process is going and everything is working. But it's one of those things, it's not just where I work. I have numerous friends that I've asked about this, and it seems like it's a modern management thing that along with like lean manufacturing, meetings upon meetings, it's just one of those things that has happened in corporate America and especially manufacturing.
That's because managers, 90% of them don't need to be there. They don't do anything. They're just moving pieces around on the board, not actually playing the game. They're just their game is moving the pieces around and looking busy. That's what I've found with a lot of managers who come up with these, oh, it's a state of the union. Let's do another state of the project. Let's do another state of the blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's keeping them busy. It makes it look like they're working.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. But, and that's the thing. There are some projects that require that. If you have a lot of moving pieces, you need to make sure everybody's on schedule. I'm not saying that having a lot of meetings is always bad. But when you can go to, like some of the meetings I go to, I never have to speak. None of the stuff is relevant to me, and I can just walk out. Why was I there? Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Well, it's, just very special. But since we're close to Christmas, aren't we?
Close.
Yeah.
Very close. Saturnalia, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. People will be gathering all over the country in their various houses, entities of worship,
and none of these meetings are required by God.
No, they're not. And aren't we thrilled? So yeah, you kids out there listening to us to try to understand the psychology of your parents who are Xers, ask them what the kids' tables were for.
Yeah.
Unless they reinvented them for you.
Kids' tables were the places to be. Thankfully, I was an only child, so there wasn't any point in shipping me downstairs.
I was an only child. Bunny, were you an only child?
Yeah, 3 of us here, only children.
Yep, only child. So I never had a kids' table.
Yeah.
I just had to go sit in the living room and flip through National Geographics or something while the adults play pinochle and talk or whatever. So, yeah.
Awesome. And on that note, we have come to the end. Pam, thanks for joining us. Any final thoughts?
I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe holiday.
There you go. Bunny?
Likewise.
That'll do it for the Gen-X-istentialists. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And we will catch you next time. Have a good one.